Welcome back to another video on Gearsaw Studios, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build yourself a simple modern starter house. Without further ado, let's investigate how we'd go about this. Starting off with the build location, I decided that pretty much anywhere works. This is a generic plains biome, nothing too interesting going on. Of course, there are two rivers on either side, but realistically that's only a matter of where you choose in survival. Starting off, you just want to do a little outline out of gray concrete. And it's really not too important the dimensions of this. Make sure that it's a reasonable distance away from other things such as hills, water, etc. So something like this. And then about 10 blocks there. I can make it a bit wider. I'd recommend doing 7 blocks or something like that. However, due to the walls being sunken in by one, perhaps something a little bit larger would be better. Either way, make sure you don't have an even block center. Right here, 9 blocks, which gives me 7 blocks of interior space, which means that will probably work. Something like that. You can go over here, and then the inner area should be birch planks. After this, you might want to curve up a little like this. Although, if you make it too large, that's not going to be very feasible unless you're going to make it only like 1 or 2 stories high. It's up to you on the thickness and height of it though. Right here, you can see I have these gray things. They're currently embedded into the ground, but that's fine. Now, I also built a completely white concrete foundation around here, which is, well, just a white concrete foundation, not much else to say about it, and then added a door onto the end of that. Now, what you want to do is fill this up with glass panes. And it can be a little annoying to place down glass panes on top of glass panes, but luckily there are ways you can do it, especially if you turn off bobbing when moving. I keep it because it just feels more natural for me, but if you're having trouble doing this, then potentially turn it off for the time being. Once you fill this in, birch flooring all around here, and then you'll need to devise a way to get up here. Personally, I'd do a staircase on this end and make it either way, so that way you can go up on that side or this side. However, if it doesn't get your desired height, then it's completely fine to only have it on one side. If you want, you could potentially even make it into a balcony. Right here, I have this staircase going up, made out of smooth sandstone. And then I made some minor adjustments here and there, made this wider because I just didn't like the shape of it, and added this tiny section here. This tiny section is going to be part of the mine. Since while this is a modern house, I do want it to be survival livable. From here, with this staircase in place, we now need an interior. And starting off, we need birch planks, and that's a given. However, you're going to notice a little bit of a problem. We have birch planks on the ceiling. And one of the biggest things I say when building is don't do this. I know I used to do this, and my builds look ugly, so don't do this. If you have birch on the ceiling, you need to do something different on the lower floor. So try and figure out something about that. Maybe you can put down some white concrete. Although that creates really low ceilings, perhaps this area can be a few blocks lower anyways. A little bit darker, some sort of basement. It would be pretty modern to start using the ground a little bit more. Ignore the water table for this. But essentially, you want to have a birch area here, and then you can have another layer. Whether it's gray concrete, cyan terracotta, it doesn't really matter. That's down to personal preference. And then, this area here also protrudes, and what you want to do is surround it in slabs. Which one? I'm not entirely sure, but there's a lot of options, because Minecraft's done a very good job about adding the slabs. So, you can go around like this or something. Smooth quartz blends in pretty well. Not the best, but oh well. Better than some of the dark blocks like deep slate. Then I can get some moss like this in order to have a little rooftop garden. That's pretty modern as well. So essentially try incorporating the greenery. Have an area in front of the staircase. I'm going to have this walkway go a little bit into the river because I just placed this poorly. Well, place some moss here. And then I can do some leaves, maybe a window behind it, something like that. Either way, a lot of greenery goes into modern builds, so try incorporating that. And you can also do a pool out front, but that's probably going to be coming at the end of the tutorial. Right here, you can see a lot more of the house has been worked on. And a typical building tutorial jump cut, too big to comprehend, but it's actually not that complex if you think about it. Of course, I still have my glass up here, the panes, the corners are chopped off to give it a sleeker design. And then I have this band going around with cyan concrete in order to keep it a little bit more interesting. On the very top, in this gap here, I put down some moon detecting daylight sensors and then some sunroofs to add some natural lighting. On the inside, I made sure the top was not completely flat, added double doors into the bedroom, and in order to put in some more variety, I looked online to just see what other modern houses are doing, and what do you know, I see some wood being used. So potentially try incorporating that. Don't be ashamed of doing that, imagine humanity if we couldn't communicate. So if you really are stumped on ideas, look up some things. It helps me a lot when building. Anyways, this area here I'm going to have excavated downward, but otherwise is not a super large priority right now. This is a very annoying room to work with since you have to go deep under, it's dark, short ceiling, etc. But for the rest of it, a lot of gray concrete solves the majority of problems, and for this staircase here, I put down some cyan terracotta on the inside. So, pretty simple, all of that, and you can add some flowers here, and since it's an even amount, typically I advise against even amounted builds. Well, you can actually perfectly fit a double bed in here, which is really nice. Right here, you can see I have this staircase going down, looms on the walls with some chiseled bookshelves to keep it varied, and then that can go down a little bit further, and this is the room I was having trouble with. Basically, nether portal, brewing, cartography table because obligatory, and then I used some sea lanterns for lighting. You can also put an enchanting table here, just gonna do that real quick. What do you know, you already have a few essentials right here. And then, if you did the staircase exactly how I did, I don't recommend exactly copying what I do because it's more interesting when you have to do different things. But if you have a big staircase like this, you can fit things under it. So I'm going to make this into a room with my anvils, smithing tables, and a chest filled with armor trim. Over here is also my bedroom, and what I'd personally do is one, double bed, because double beds are cool. Red beds, nostalgia bait right here, and then some dark oak. Dark oak, in my opinion, is probably the most versatile wood in the game, so try using it when possible. And then I can do it like this. Doesn't have to be an exact copy, but, if you do something more complex like this, you can do, well, more interesting bed design. And if you want, you can even go a little bit further and have it go like this, and then do the ultimate troll right here. Oops, I started typing troll. But you can do some carpet like this, and now the bed looks larger than it really is. And then you can even put some stairs up here to make it even larger apparently. You can also hide some chests back here in case you need to hide something, pretend you have a secret base, something like that. Anyways, you can make a significantly larger bed than you'd expect if you were to combine certain things. The fences and such, even if there isn't enough room, still consider what you can do. And then there's also the ability to add bookshelves. Is this comfortable? No, but it looks kind of cool, so I like it. I recommend looking up varying bed designs if you're unsure on what to do, because the more ideas you see, likely the better it will be. On the inside, I added some extra lighting to make sure it's a valid house at night, and then down here, you can see I've added a second room. Nothing very interesting about it, house light flooring, but right here, I do have an area with a hopper and a chest. This is a trash disposal, because, modern houses typically have those. Of course, you'd expect me to put fire or lava or something more intelligent. However, because I know Minecraft players enough, well, no, it just goes to a chest. You have to manually empty it yourself, so that way you might actually have the motivation to use it on a grindstone or smelt down the stuff for nuggets. Anyways, right here you can see the bed is complete, I have a chest behind it, And in order to keep it bouncy, added a third bed right here, so that way you can bounce on the whole thing. Paintings, more things, and then you have a chest, an empty shelf. That's actually an error. I recommend making sure all your shelves have at least something on them. And this chest can be whatever. Ender chest, backup armor, appropriately trimmed, and what do you know? A lot of this area is done. I also added a TV. It is off because I did not find a painting that is 3x2. But right here, simple carpet. Notice the inside is wool. This room also uses wool and carpet trick. And now I'm down to these two rooms here. Notably, they're quite dark, and that's not a good thing. So, turning on some night vision for the viewing experience, I recommend is making these a storage room. So, what you can do is a staircase down here, and then have chests built into the wall. Make these stairs upside down, or slabs, up to you. And then you can fit a bunch of chests down here, so that way you have ample amounts of storage. For this room, I now have the pit in the middle. I decided to make it a little bit deeper, and you can see chests all around, an ample amount for starter base. The bamboo mosaic is there in order to provide pretty much just replace the walls with the block you're storing. If this is dirt, put dirt here. Then, crafting table, furnace, water source. It's not infinite, unfortunately, but still, if you ever needed, water bottles, whoever needs those. But anyways, another crafting table up here. Maybe put down some flower pots here. A little bookcase, some utilities there, bookshelves. Yeah, not the most interesting bookshelves, but still. And then this area is bubble elevator and a way down to the mines. Of course, I'm not actually going to do those because, well, I don't think I need to make a tutorial about that. Right here, I have a trapdoor in case you ever needed a basement. And now this part of the structure is done. And you can see it's nicely lit up. Still have to do some minor details here and there. But for the most part, my goal here is to make a swimming pool. So go right about here. I do need to, whoops, wrong thing. I do need it to be a little bit brighter. So I can make an area over here, maybe like this wide. I'd recommend something with gray concrete. And then the pool should have a little area for you to put chairs next to. And then eventually I do have to connect it with that piece over there. So another area, go in, and then I can fill this all up with smooth sandstone, and then I have to make a pit. Make sure the pit is gradual, don't make it completely deep. I mean, who wants to go in a pool where the entire thing's the deep end? Make sure there's stairs, not literal stair blocks, but a way to get in and out safely. Right here, you can see pretty basic umbrella, pretty much a rudimentary lounging chair. You can do it something like this, make it a little bit longer, who knows. But essentially, I have that, and then I have this umbrella held up by string, a swimming pool made with blue terracotta. I'd personally recommend prismarine, but at the same time, that's not very starter base-ish. Then, with that now in place, and this walkway going around, you can do the back of the build. I mean, some builders don't necessarily do that, but I strongly recommend doing the back. And then fill in any details you missed, such as missing flower pots, accidentally undecorated shelves, miscellaneous things like that. But you can see, everything needed to survive is in fact in the space. It's quite compact, and it looks pretty nice. Might not be your most typical modern house, but it's certainly one nonetheless. Right here, you can see this house is now complete, and it even has lighting. For some of my final changes, I added flowers to the top. The wooden parts have glow lichen on the outside. I know that's not really accurate, but let's be honest. If you have wood outside for so long, it's gonna get something on it. Then going around, right here, you can see completely loops, which means you can run around all you want around this thing, and you can connect it to whatever nearby pathways. Although in the future, there'll definitely be more roads. Going on the inside, you can see TV, paintings, a nice library. I mean, ebooks are a thing, but let's be honest, books look way cooler in real life than files. Then, brewing stands, and then I have some extra things here, a fake trash disposal, an inactive nether portal because I still want a way to mute them, and then I have those barrels, and some other things. Then down here, you can see storage, a way to get in and out of your mines, a way to expand the base, and then if I need to, I can go upstairs to the bedroom, which is nicely decorated and is perfectly suitable for survival. So if you ever wanted to combine modern with actually living inside of a base, then this build is for you. And with that, it's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, remember, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I know my uploads have been a bit delayed as of late, skipping a lot more weeks. Sorry about that. I'm going to college now, a little bit earlier than most people, and I have a little bit of a hard time adjusting. So, with that out of the way, I might move my scheduling to Thursdays instead of Tuesdays. It's actually a lot easier for me, I found out. But otherwise, yeah, that's all I really have to say today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Gearsaw